Holy smokes, it's Troy Casey, the Certified Health Nut, and today we're here with Paul Chek.
Yeah, baby.
and we were talking the other day about boobs, IUDs, piercings. What are some of the effects that can actually, how they can affect people? Well, you also told us that birds also adorn themselves. So this is somewhat of a natural component.
Yes,
when does it turn into a pathology or something like that?
Well, first of all, we must remember that metal attracts a wide variety of electromagnetic frequencies. So for example, if you start looking at the faces of people that have nose rings on one side, all the energy that's drawn in from ambulances driving by, cell phones, every kind of electromagnetic vibration you can imagine that can be picked up by that piece of metal comes drawing into their face. Antennas draw frequencies into them. It's your radio antenna that draws the frequency from the atmosphere into your radio. So if you turn your face or your abdominal wall by piercing your abdomen into a radio antenna, it sucks all that energy into the body and it creates chaos because a lot of those frequencies are not congruent with the human body, which is why, for example, cell phones are known to cause brain cancer, for example. Research shows that a cell phone uses about 1 million times more energy to transmit than your brain cells use to communicate. So when you hold a cell phone to your head, as an example, you're bombarding your brain cells with massive amounts of energy that's stressful to the system. So once you put an ear ring in, or a nose ring in, or a belly button ring in, you're drawing a huge amount of energy in because fascia is a living tissue and each cell has a north and a south pole. All the energy causes the fascia to draw together, just like if you put iron filings under a piece of paper and put a small magnet under it, it'll pull them into a formation. But if you put a magnet 10 times more powerful, it'll draw them into an even tighter formation. So any piercings of any type draw electromagnetic energy into the body and cause the fascia to tighten. And as I alluded to earlier, if you look at the faces, left to right, you'll see people that have nose rings on one side often have an orbit that's closed on that side. Their jaw starts to be pulled to one side and they end up with what's technically called banana face. And I've treated many of these people, and usually within 2 weeks without any metal in their face, their structure has realigned itself to the degree that almost anybody can notice it. I've had countless women with the belly button rings who could not get their core to work, had chronic low back pain. I took their belly button ring out, retested the core, it turned on and worked like magic. I've done it in front of thousands of people all over the world and had many people write me back and say, oh my God, that was the greatest thing you showed me. I don't have my back pain, I don't have indigestion anymore. So I tell them, if you want to adorn yourself, use things that are electromagnetically neutral, or what would be an insulator in a circuit. So bone, stone, porcelain, anything that is not an electromagnetic conductor. If you want to wear your sexy kit, only do it when you're going to go out on the dance floor for the evening, then get it off of your body. Okay? These are very important things. The other thing is...
How does it apply to the IUDs? I mean, it must wreak havoc in the body.
Well, anywhere you put metal, you're drawing excessive energy, and the body operates on extremely low frequency. The body operates on what's called the MENS system, minimal electrical neuromuscular stimulation. Almost everything in your body runs at less than 1 volt. So if you put an IUD, a copper ring, around your cervix, then you're turning your cervix into a cell phone tower, and you're making love to all the taxi drivers and cops and ambulance drivers. So the other issue is boob implants. Even though they sell them and say, oh, they're safe because they're saline, they don't remember that they're in a silicone bag. And anything that's unnatural in your body, your immune system tries to get rid of. I've had cases of women that have had 700 times the safe limit of silicone in their cerebral spinal fluid and developed grand mal seizures from them. So I know from lots of clinical experience, I've had many women that have had to take these things out because it poisoned their body. Also, anything that's synthetic, any unnatural fiber, any of the athletic clothing, all of that stuff scrambles your energy field. So as an analogy, think of looking out a clean glass window. You can see clearly it's a natural substance. But then if I put plastic over that window, now everything's muddled. Your own energy field sends information about you out into the environment and brings information about the environment back into you. So if you're wearing athletic sports clothes or you have implants, that are made of silicone, that scrambles your field, and it's very confusing to the body, and it actually creates chaos in the system. In my opinion, it elevates glucocorticoid or stress hormone levels, and it causes a lot of anxiety in people because it's almost as though you're blind to yourself. Your energy field is what allows you to stand next to somebody you don't know and get a sense of whether or not they're safe to be around. It's what gives you the instinct to turn left if you're lost versus turning right, or if you're out hiking, you don't know where to go, you follow your instinct. If your field is confused, your instinct is disabled. So what you see is people tend to make the same mistakes over and over and over again, and when you ask them why they do it, they say, I don't know. Well, that's because ultimately they're confused, and if you're confused and you don't have enough knowledge about what you're trying to do, you're really stuck with the bad information you're getting because your field is getting scrambled. So it's really...
And this is what we see almost every day with people out in the world.
Absolutely. And you know, largely this is... I understand the desire to adorn oneself.
Or even use a cell phone.
Oh yeah, all these things, but they can be done in a more safe way. Like, don't carry your cell phone on your body. A very simple technique I teach my students so they can feel a cell phone is get a bottle of water that's in glass, hold it with both hands, have someone take a cell phone that's turned on and slowly bring it toward the bottle, and you will literally feel the water in the bottle just start to oscillate. You're not going to see it shake, but it's shaking at a level that your eyes can't see, but you can feel it buzzing your body. And then when you remember your body's about 70% water, that's vibrating your whole body inside. A microwave oven oscillates the frequency from positive to negative of a water molecule 1 billion times or more a second. That's enough to literally tear food apart and destroy the cells. Cell phones communicate on the microwave frequency. So we're literally shaking our organs, our glands, and our tissues and our energy field violently when doing things like that. The point is that it's one thing to have a cell phone, it's another thing to keep it away from your body except when you're going to use it. You need to keep that thing at least 3 feet away from your body, away from food, away from water, away from anything that's important to your health and vitality. And when it comes to adorning yourself, use natural fiber clothing, use natural organic makeups, use natural skincare products. Many of these things are absolutely toxic to the body. They're made of petrochemicals. And the cosmetic industry is a very poorly regulated industry. You got all sorts of tar oil and toxic things that would never be allowed in food, for example, yet you're painting your body with it. And it's important to remember this. David Getoff says this beautifully: if it's on your skin, you're drinking it, or you're drinking it, or you're eating it. So don't put anything on your skin that isn't ultimately good for your health, because if you go to such measures to make yourself beautiful, but you make yourself sick inside, nobody really wins. So it is natural to adorn ourselves, and we all love looking at beauty, but as a holistic health practitioner that's helped thousands of people with diseases, it makes me sad to see people creating ugliness on the inside while attempting to create beauty on the outside. And we're in a point in our culture where we really can't afford to use methods of adorning ourselves that make us less intelligent, because we need every brain cell on the job of creating wholeness in the world right now before we create a mess that's too big to clean up.
Well, you heard it from Paul today, and thanks for watching, and don't call me. I'll call you.
Thank you.